and thank you for joining our Independent Living Skills Silicon Valley Independent Living Center cooking class. Today we will be teaching you how to cook an egg scramble in the microwave. We have our salt and pepper, and today's featured assistive technology device is an egg cracker. This is by OXO, the brand. And it sits on your bowl like this. There's a sharp tooth on this cracker that makes cracking eggs easier and less likely to have eggshells in your cracked eggs. It also has the ability to drain the egg white and separate it from the yolk in case you are looking only for egg whites or yolks. We have 2 eggs, some sharp cheddar cheese slices, some sanitizer, a fork, and 2 bowls. One bowl is to collect the shells, the other is to mix in. Let's begin. We're going to take our egg, and again with the tooth in this egg cracker, we want to hit the egg here. This makes it easier in case you are unable to hit it on the bowl, or you need a little bit more stabilization. And this also fits 2 different kinds of bowls, including mixing bowls. So there's an extra little dip here. Okay. And just in case, I will anchor it with my fingertips, just to make sure. And we see that we have an eggshell in here. I'm going to just pull that out and throw it in the second bowl. And I'm going to open it gently. And see, it separated the egg whites and the yolk. If we were only doing egg whites, maybe for dietary reasons, we could leave this here and put the yolk in a different bowl or cup for another time. But in this case, I'm just going to shake it out, and in it goes. Let me show you the difference between the separator and then doing it either on the table or on the side of the bowl, so you can see why this might be a good highlighted item for you to take into your kitchen. See, it's only a certain radius in the egg, and you're likely to have more shells fall out. I'm going to try and open this as gently as possible so we do not have to fish out the shells. And it's a lucky break, and we just plop it in. And that part is done. And we can move this safely over to eliminate exposure to salmonella. And now we're going to whisk our eggs, or you can just beat them. If you have an actual whisk, by all means feel free to use that, but a simple fork, even a plastic fork, will work for you. Now you can pick up the bowl if you're comfortable, or you can leave it on the table, and you just whisk, whisk, whisk in circular motions. If you can't go that fast, that's okay, just keep whisking. And the more air you pump into the eggs, the more fluffier it will get. If you also like putting milk or cream in your eggs to add a little bit more, this would be the best time to do that, along with certain seasonings. See, now we have some bubbles. It's completely incorporated. There is no separation of egg whites and yolks. I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to wipe my hands before I touch my seasonings though, because when I break the eggs, I don't know if you can see that, there's a little bit of egg yolk on my hands. So safely, I'm going to use some wipes. Wipe without hanging over the food to make sure everything's clean. And we will throw this away. We're going to do a little salt and a little pepper. If you cannot use salt, maybe for health concerns or reasonings, there is potassium salt or salt alternatives, or even half salt, so you do not have to worry about your sodium intake. If you cannot do any of those kind of salts, you can completely opt out. There's also other ways to season your eggs, like using garlic powder, onion powder. In fact, we have a special seasoning. It's called 21 Seasoning Salute, and it is by Trader Joe's. It has a few different seasonings in here, and it also incorporates different ingredients, different flavors. So here we already have our onions and spices like our black pepper or maybe cayenne. You can find any medley of seasonings that you would like to add, on your own, or you can make it yourself. So I'm just gonna do a little dash, and see it has a few different things in there. Perfect. And now, if you like cheese and you'd like to mix it so you have pockets of cheese mixed in, you can take it out and rip it up, or you can choose to add it on top later. I personally like to mix it. So we're going to open our pack. And you don't need sliced cheese. If you have the block of cheese, you can always grate the cheese, which makes it a little bit easier, but if that is not exactly the easiest option, you can also buy it shredded and add how much cheese you'd like that way. So we're going to take one slice. Okay, and I personally like to fold it to make it break. And we can just keep folding. Maybe the ability to tear is a little difficult, so folding, because it's sliced, breaks it up easier. And you can keep folding to pieces that you want, or keep it big, however you like. I like to have little pieces, just so that way it's even. So we add that in. And if you have big pieces in there, that's okay. You can add other things as well, as your fresh veggies or even some baby spinach. You can make this into a full, basically a frittata, or as some people call it, a crustless quiche. It is different though, because you are not baking it in the oven, so it will not get that skin, and it will not meld the same way as if it was in the oven. Now that we have all of our cheese, we're going to whisk again to incorporate everything. You may need to scrape the sides to make sure all the spices do not stick on the side or any cheese doesn't get stuck. Okay, and there's our mix. Now we are going to bring it to the microwave. And now we are going to put our eggs in the microwave. Now please keep in mind that each microwave does have different settings. It may be high volume, medium high, or low, so you may need to switch your settings. Also, depending on the kind of bowl that you have, like this is a ceramic bowl, it may take more for it to heat up versus maybe a plastic container. If you are using plastic, be aware that plastic can melt if it is not made for microwaves. Check on the bottom for a microwave safe icon or logo. For today, we are cooking 2 eggs and cheese. The more that we add to our mixture, the longer we will need it to cook. It does not hurt for you to stop the cooking process just to gauge how wet the eggs are, also on your preference. We're going to do about 1.5 minutes, and this is a high volume microwave. Let's close and begin. And now it is ready. And voila, our egg souffle. Now keep in mind, because this is a ceramic bowl, it is very hot. So you will want it to cool down. And the longer that you leave it in this hot ceramic bowl, it will continue to cook your eggs. And now with the pot holder, let's go ahead and grab our eggs and just double check, make sure it is cooked all the way. Okay. See, we have hard eggs, it's not runny, and the wetness is the cheese. I'm going to just separate it a little bit to make sure, and it's not runny. So this is a more hard cooked egg. If you would like it a little wet, you can always do less time. But if you overcook it, there is no going back. And that's it.